Yes, chaps, what's happening? Matt back with the next episode, episode 5 of the Mad Hatters here with Luton Town in the Championship. You can see from the screen, we've done it. We've actually managed to get ourselves to the playoffs. You can see the goal difference there of plus 30. We ended up in a game with Nottingham Forest. We ended up losing to them and losing to Reading a couple of games towards the end of the season, which meant it was a bit squeaky bum time. But 2 points separate us between us and Nottingham Forest in the end. It's gone quite well. I'm quite happy with the blend of the squad. Um, you can see there we also lost to Preston and Blackburn. It really didn't end well. There was a fair few losses towards the end, but the tactic itself has worked. It's a bit of a all or nothing tactic. You either win the game or you lose the game. It's as simple as that. But it's got us to the playoffs, and we've actually drawn West Bromwich Albion in the first semi-final. That game we will be live commenting today. I'm going to change the view to 2D because the 3D didn't render very well. Um, Between the actual video itself and when I was playing the game. When I was playing the game, it was like perfect, and then when I watched the video today, it was a bit naff. But I'm just going to show you really quickly what's been happening with the youth players, based on the last video that we shown where we talked about how I identify youth prospects and how I sort of work with my youth players. You can see Ryan Brown, the fullback, the 15-year-old, is already being touted as pretty much a first team level right back. If his physical can go up, he's very, very, very good player. But we've basically just got. I think we're only not signing two in the end. I want to say it's two. Yeah, Matt Payne and Andrew Walsh. They're the only two I'm coming in. So the under 18 squad is actually looking fairly decent. If we just go to the overview, you'll see now we've actually got a fair few players with a decent amount of potential. One of them being Josh Allen, who I'm going to show you his development and sort of really quickly just to prove as to why I use complete forward for all my strikers. You can see pretty much everything's gone up. His dribbling, his finishing. There's yellow arrows everywhere. He's developed a trait. He's working on another one. We've got to try. We're trying to get him to move into channels, but at the minute he just hits his shots with power. He's actually scored his first goal for the club. He came off the bench to win us a game. It was a decent little goal as well. Little chip over the top from Tom Lockyer, and he just smashed it first time on the volley. Um, just look at the progress. You'll see attributes for all time, and then we highlight attacking roles and complete forwards. You'll see a lot of ones. There's a lot of green arrows which are going to turn into ones fairly soon, but a lot of ones gone up. A few twos. He's developed a few traits. He's a good player. So what we're going to probably do is try and loan him out next season. If we do get to the Premier League, he won't be the level to even come off the bench Premier League wise. He just won't fit that. So it'll probably be a case of getting him a loan to say a National League. I want at least League Two. And yeah, just give him that competitive game time so he can grow. He's only 17. Realistically, I could probably keep him in and around the youth team for another couple of years. But we've got a lot of players coming in from the youth teams. And I spoke in the last video about players coming in and what we do. And this is basically the the product. I couldn't think of it. Sorry, I had my second COVID jab a couple of days ago, and I am out of it. It's horrendous. But yeah, we've got a few people. They're all coming in on free transfers. Apart from this guy, Marcus Ryan, who was one of the regens we identified using the shortlist method in the last video. He's coming in for a compensation of 500k. He's going to be playing as an inverted winger on the left-hand side. Again, if we can get his physicals up, his technicals and mentals are already there. I anticipate he's probably going to be a fairly decent player for us. And the rest are all sort of just youth players who are getting released from bigger teams. You can see Will Russ has got the potential, definitely got the potential to be at least a championship player. If we can develop and sell him on for a couple of mil, then that's fine. Similar goes for Ted Davey. Again, very good mentals, decent physicals and good technicals. Romain Mundle is not too far off where Lesha Bala is. So again, it was a bit of a no-brainer. Eddie Carrington, a very interesting player, very fast, very technical, good on the ball. good determination, flair, and whatnot. 6'4", and as a winger. I'm probably going to train him as a striker. I think he could definitely do a job as an advanced forward, but it's going to take a bit of time. Saxon Early can play a couple of different positions. You can see from the map there, CDM or centre mid, very competent in either role. So that'd be a quite good one. Daniel Akagoyi, again, a wing back, can play sort of a couple of positions, can play centre back. He is 6 foot tall. These are the type of players we want. So we're going to develop him and hopefully sell him on. And then this guy, Mazid Ungongbo, he's coming from Arsenal, again, a free transfer. He is, the best way to describe him for me is a Ben Godfrey type player. Very committed, very determined, very fast, very tall. I think he is already probably first team level in rotation. What we're going to do, we've actually sold Reece Burke to, I think, Preston in the end, and Ogungbo is going to be the sort of the backup instead of Burke. He's on cheaper wages. He's a lot younger. There's a lot more potential there. There's a lot of scope for him to get better. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. And then we've got a couple of transfers leaving the club as well. Reece Burke, as we said, he's on his way to Preston North End. There was somebody else who's on the way out as well. I can't remember who it was, or somebody else who has left. Oh, Cal Naismith. Yeah, Cal Naismith has gone to Austin FC for 2.5 million upfront, rising to 3.2. He's worth 3 million with players like this. It's probably best to just take some money up front, and I found you can get a lot more money negotiating add-ons and whatnot than you could do if you just said, I want 3 million up front, they wouldn't give it. But yeah, that's sort of the state that the squad's going to be in. I'm just going to pause just now. We're going to get into the game against West Bromwich Albion, and let's see how we get on. I think this is how we're going to line up. There's still a few injuries. Andy Carroll, unfortunately, being one of them. He's got a gashed leg, so he's going to be out for like 2 to 4 days, which means Butterworth's going to start up front. We will more than likely put Mr. Allen on the bench then instead of Elliot Lee. Owen Otasowi and Daniel Butterworth, coincidentally, have both signed loan extensions. We've got them until the end of next season. So even if we are still in the Championship, we've got 2 of our key players back. Cameron Jerome making a return. Yeah, I think we're happy with this. This is pretty much the first 11. Sonny Bradley is one that will probably end up going out. His contract's up at the end of the season. He's on 3.5 grand. He keeps negotiating and he wants like 17k, and it's just not going to happen, to be honest with you. We're going to submit that team there. We're going to still start off with the cautious mentality of keeping the ball. I like doing that to sort of feel out the opposition. And then, as you've seen in the previous video, if I feel like we've got the edge on them, that's when we spread out. We go a little bit wider. We go a little bit more balanced rather than cautious, and we go for it from there. Big game. I never thought we'd be in the playoffs, first of all. I never thought we'd be anywhere near promotion this first season. The fact we've sort of rejigged the squad quite a bit and used the methods that we have done, I'm very happy with how we've got here. And we'll just see. I'm not too disappointed if we don't go up, to be honest with you. We've got a bit of money coming in. We've already spoken about if we have to consolidate, sort of like Brentford did last season in real life. If you've got to consolidate and lose that your key players like Watkins and Ben Rama in their case, if we've got to lose Lockyer and Sluga, then we use our methods to progress with cheaper players, etc. But yeah, I'm not too disappointed if we don't go up. Just into the team talk, and you can see Pelly Ruddock and Tom Lockyer got demotivated. Bit of an issue. They're probably the 2 most influential players in the first 11. We'll send the assistant to that. I very rarely do any sort of press on this game. It's just not for me. It's just not a thing I enjoy doing on it. It's too tedious. Yeah, we're going to skip that. I'm just going to pop the game into 2D again, just for the sake of this, but we will keep the highlights on in 3D. You can see how slow it's deciding to go. I don't know why it didn't transfer across well. As I say, it was perfectly fine while I was playing it. Even now, it's perfectly fine, but it just doesn't translate properly to the video. So there we go. We're going to go 2D, and hopefully you guys can see a little bit better there. There we go. Zoom it in as well. Butterworth. Ajay is going to give Butterworth a bit of a hard time. He's obviously most of these are Premier League level. I mean, just taking a look there, Carlin Grant is there or thereabouts. Same for Callum Robinson. Snodgrass definitely is. Jay Livermore, J.E., Mengi, Johnston. They're all pretty much Premier League level players. In terms of the draw, there wasn't an awful lot that we could have done. Didn't matter sort of who we got. We were always going to struggle, I think. So, yeah, we're just going to have to see how it goes. But I'm happy with the start. We're 7 minutes in. We were having a lot of the ball. I think West Brom are just, going to push it a bit more now. May even drop the highlights up to comprehensive just so we've got something to talk about. But there's James Bree. It's Honeyman. Pelly Ruddock. Bree. Good patient football as Campbell switches it out to Bree. He's gone back to Honeyman. Campbell. Honeyman. Oh. Carlin Grant's knocked it on, and they are quick, the West Brom players, especially Callum Robinson, as he gets round Bree, and he's hit the inside of the post. I am straight away just going to pop that up. We were moving it around quite nicely there, but you could see Campbell just tried to be a bit too clever in trying to chip the ball back into Bree when there was a pass on direct. So let's just go a bit more direct and see how we get on from there as we get a free kick. We get a lot of those free kicks in the corner. I don't know if it's something on the match engine update or not, but on your dim, we're bringing us forward. Needs to release the ball. Pelly Ruddock to Campbell. They're targeting Campbell because they know he's not great at carrying the ball. I think they're pressing him into the mistakes as Callum Robinson goes very, very close. If we can get a result here, if we can take a win to the Hawthorns, I'm more than confident that we can just knock the ball about and keep them off it. But the problem is they are Premier League quality players in this squad. Similar to Sheffield United, they walked the league. I think they finished on 97 points. So that's just something we've got to be mindful of. As Robert Snodgrass goes through on goal and it's 1-0. Again, I'm not like knife to a gunfight or sort of conceding before we kicked off. But you have got to remember that these are Premier League players, and sort of only in my team, I'd say maybe Sluga, Lockyer, and probably Campbell could play Premier League level. Not really anybody else who's that up to scratches yet, as we try and get one back straight away off the break. And again, we're giving it away far too easily on the transition. Much better football here, though, as Honeyman picks it up. He needs to do something. As the ball plays through Butterworth, and it's an equaliser. See, we've just spread the pitch a little bit more, go a bit more direct. Let's, less of this tapping it about. Look, it's zipping passes through to Campbell, and then look at the movement from Butterworth. And this is exactly why we are trying to keep him on for another season. He's a different option to Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll is, your big man. He gets on the end of your crosses. Butterworth can do that, but Butterworth is the more mobile one. So when we've got to try and sort of spread the defence about and shuttle them across, Butterworth is definitely the one to go for. A brilliant response. It's our first shot on target. Can we keep the pressure up? And your dimmer doesn't get there. Even Matt Phillips, again, Premier League level player. Carlin Grant, intercepted by Bree. Sluga looking for Butterworth. Ajayi's not going to win it. And here is Butterworth. Pulls it back to Onyedinma. And Butterworth and Campbell. Oh! Lovely football from Luton Town to Mari Bell's corner. It's Sonny Bradley and a walkway at the far post. Coming to our own. I think the goals woke us up. Definitely woken us up here. Give them another encourage. There's a few sad faces. Hopefully it pulls us a few greens through, and it does. That's what we want to see. Encourages the new demand more. I'm telling you. Wakwe is not really performing. Neither's Lockyer. 6.6s and 6.6. Yeah, 6.6s and 7s are about average. 0.5s when they're a bit. Looking for Butterworth. He's knocked it on. Johnston. Mengi. Johnston's going to volley it long to Carlin Grant. We've got to watch that. We are pressing them high, so we've got to remember that these long balls will come in. Um, I'm tempted to bring Lockyer off at half time and put Otasowie on just for the pace aspect of it. Sonny Bradley's having a good game. I'm really concerned about Pelly Ruddock and Lockyer not playing so well. Uwakwe, indifferent on, but you can see they're not. There's a few of their players who aren't doing just as good either. So yeah, we'll see. A lot of their players coming down their left hand side. So Bree's dealing with them well. We don't even have Cal Naismith anymore to do the Amari Bell right wing change. Got to dig in. I think then Owen Otasowi's got to come on. I don't think Tom Lockyer is up to this game, and he's on the booking. Otasowi's going to come on as a ball playing defender on defend. Pelly Ruddock, unfortunately, mate, you've not performed, so Lesha Bella will come on. We'll keep a Wackway on there for now. If absolute need be, we can put Lesha Bella on the wing and we can bring Honeyman forward and put Luke Berry on. Could potentially bring Josh Allen on again, something a little bit different. He's a player that can snatch a chance if we make one. He's naturally a poacher, but we're training him to do a bit of everything. Jack of all trades, master of none. Hey, even Honeyman's not really performing that well. Again, I get the feeling it's because they didn't react so well to the first heart the start of the game team talk. Maybe they're settling in a bit more now. We'll have to see. Right, if we can get to Wembley, again, we're focusing an awful lot down the middle, which isn't really our game. I'm a bit concerned. As Callum Robinson goes in, that's just a brilliant goal. We could have dropped players back and they still would have got that too. That's a brilliant goal. Well worked set piece. Look at that. Quick passes. And it's staff there from Phillips. I mean, that's just a tremendous ball. What do you do? Get them another encourage. Honeyman, you're coming off. You're letting me down. So Luke Berry's going to come on. We're not even performing badly, you know. They've just created two really good chances. And again, it's everything on this left hand side. Just going to go to the opposition instructions because we need to stop Robinson. And I don't even think Bree's performing badly there. I just think Robinson's got the run of him. Owako's coming off. He's been awful. Okay, let's do that. Owako, you've let me down, brother. So let's put on your dimmer on. Let's make him a winger. We're then gonna change Bree to a fullback on support. He's actually better as an inverted winger on that side. That's fine. Fullback support rather than a wing back. We're just going to get him to stay back a bit more. We're going to put Butterworth on as the inverted winger, and we're going to get Allen on up front. They're telling me Cameron Jerome, but he's literally, his legs have completely gone. If it's going to show it, there's going to be red arrows, oranges now. His legs have gone, his stamina's gone. He's just not really up to scratch anymore. I'd literally rather have somebody like Allen, like a young player, on than Cameron Jerome, unfortunately. But that's just how it goes with using older players. As Matt Phillips again, good tackle by Campbell. Snodgrass's delivery. It's cleared away. Livermore. Lewis Baker to Callum Robinson. Lovely ball again. And Amari Bell does well, and Sluga has to make the save. it's these little switches that they keep doing. It's just causing havoc at the back for us. As they get a corner, we do break off a fair few, so we'll see how this goes. As Baker takes it, and Ajayi heads it over the bar. Luke Berry. Sluga out to Onyedinma. Tell you what we want to do, because he's quite quick off the mark and got good movement. We're going to work we're going to hit early crosses, especially with Onyedinma now being out on the right hand side. As Allen gets up and it's saved by Sam Johnston. Good header by Josh Allen. Just a quick one to say thank you for the support. If you've been showing me a few people have consistently been commenting or dropping messages on certain social media platforms and that, and it does mean a lot. I'm very, very grateful. This series is actually quite enjoyable. I sort of lost a bit of the love for FM, but this has definitely reignited it. So, very, very happy with that. Thank you very much. Any constructive criticism is great too. As we sort of force them back to Mengi, who's gone long again. Carlin Grant's broke it. Goal. Oh, what a tackle! What a tackle in again. Livermore's header saved by Sluga. That was some tackle by Otasowi, because they were clean through. Luke Berry, Otasowi, Sluga, Bradley. Worked that well on Yedinma. Again, getting doubled up on as Bree finds Luke Berry. Now Leshabella slips it through for Allen. Yes, no. Oh, come on. That was tight, Come on now. Look at this. You. Man. That is tight. Bradley to Bell. Have we got pass into space on? We have. I think there's a chance in it, There's definitely a chance in it. We've just proven it there. You see Allen sort of stretching their defence a little bit more than Butterworth was. That's a sewing now to Luke Berry. Now Butterworth. Can he get his cross in? You can go back to Amari Bell. Campbell, Butterworth, Campbell. Oh, off the bar! Oh, there's a chance, I think there's a few squeaky bumholes in the West Midlands. Butterworth takes the corner. It's away by EJ. Butterworth to Campbell. Luke Berry, Leshabella, Otasowi. What are we doing with it, boys? Luke Berry. It's Allen again! It's saved again! Come on, eh? Hey! Where's this come from? Amari Bell. Bradley over the bar. Where's this come from? This team surprised me a lot, They really do. They literally run. You can see it from the bottom of the screen here. They run themselves into the ground. They really do. I'm very happy with this squad. They've gone a bit more conservative now. Livermore is dropped as as a DLP defend. You can tell, and yeah, they're a bit more conservative. I don't even want to go longer because we're playing good football. It's going to be a shame if it ends 2-1 to West Brom, because I think we were robbed with that Allen goal, I really do. I don't think that was offside at all. It looks like it's going to wind down and probably be a 2-1 West Brom win. Tell you what. Tell you what. Yeah, it's going to wind down. I'm happy with that performance, There was a few, off performances, but you're not going to have everybody on song, especially when they are so much better than us on paper. I think we've had the better of the game, to be honest with you. There could still be a chance in it, though. Luke Berry cleared away by Mengi, and there it is. I'm not too disheartened. Again, they've battled, they fought. Allen definitely was better than 6.6. Butterworth had a good game. Key players let us down. Honeyman, Owakwe, Pelly Ruddock. Key players let us down in the end. But okay, we motivated them enough there. I was only going to do the one game, but considering how well that went, I'm going to do the second one. So I'll push us there. We get to the second game, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Hello, we're back for the second leg. A few changes to the team. They've pretty much gone with the same team. You can see Andy Carroll is back. We have decided to start Luke Berry. I felt like he changed the game for us. And Lesha Bella is going to play wide straight from the off. We are immediately going to get at them more. It definitely worked. Definitely worked. They didn't like it. We're going to do that. We're going to hit the early crosses. We are going to pretty much just get at them. Just get at them from the off. We're going to play higher. We're going to press more. We're going to get stuck in. And we're just going to spread the back line a bit more. I felt like because we were forcing them outside, that was what was allowing Callum Robinson all the freedom at the park, basically. Burke is going to start. James Bree is picked up a knock in training, basically. But luckily, Big Andy's back on the bench. This could probably be Burke's last game for us, which is a shame. He's a good player, but I feel with Ngongbo coming in, especially on a free transfer, it was a bit of a no-brainer to let Burke go. Was on big wage for someone who's sitting on the bench. Ngbongbo's going to come in on, I think, like £1,000 a week compared to Clark's £4,000 a week. So, yeah, we're just going to have to see how that one develops and how that one works. Yeah, been some ride this, you know. Well, fingers crossed, the boys. Fingers crossed. Just go out and play without any pressure. They're disenchanted. I don't know why. I don't know what sort of happened. I don't know whether that loss has just put a shitter up them. To be honest, I can't really explain it. But here we go with the Hawthorns as Kenneth Hort gets us underway. I'm thinking maybe the 60-minute sub for Andy Carroll. George Honeyman brings us forward already. Butterworth, Wakwe, Honeyman. Good tackle from Lockyer. Much better than his previous game. We've got Pelly Ruddock as the box to box. I feel as though because he's more physical, it'll make more sense for him to sort of be the one getting at them. And Honeyman is a little bit more creative. So we'll see how that goes. We can always swap them if need be. But yeah, we just need a bit of a spell. I think if we get the early goal, it'll just unsettle them. We're going to wait till about 15, 16 minutes and get them an encourage if we've not really seen a response. Bell to Pelly Ruddock. Just got to be careful. Berry. Bradley looking for Butterworth, knocks it down to Leshabella, switches it to Owakwe, gets himself in, finds George Honeyman, gets it into Owakwe! Leshabella, oh, good tackle by Darnell Fairlong. We are definitely the better of the two teams. I feel like this is what they've been waiting for. I feel like even in the first game, they just hit us quickly on counter attacks with just the better quality players. A big chance for us to take the lead there. Kenneth Sahor away by Butterworth, well done. Dean Garner back to Baker. Dean Garner tackled by Luke Berry as we look to counter now with Leshabella. Now George Honeyman, and that's the end of the highlight. Real chance there early on, you know. I'll give them an encourage now. That I mean, just making that chance should have encouraged them anyway. Even that there, if Butterworth was just a bit quicker on the turn, there was definitely a chance on the Kenneth Sahort, Carlin Granson. I just hate that post. And then Luke Berry kicked it long. Lesha Bella knocks it on. KP wins it. Bartley to O'Shea. Johnston looking for Carlin Grant. Burke has been done. Saved by Sluga. We're struggling at at the back again against these wide players, and it's not really something that has really bothered us this season. So I'm not entirely sure why it's now becoming a thing. Um, I I don't really want to defend wide, to be honest, but we'll give it a go and we'll see. But I'm losing the faith, to be honest with you, boys. As Dean Garner goes round, finds Fairlong, and now Livermore, and it's saved again. I don't feel like it's a game sort of because of the ramification of the game. He's give a penalty. And again, it's Pelly Ruddock. It's our key players letting us down. It's key players letting us down, lads. I just don't get it. I don't get what. I don't get how 2 games back to back, these players who are just the better players in our team are letting us down. I mean, we've got a 19, 20-year-old kid on loan from Blackburn who was doing bits. One of our 17-year-old youth players come in and did well. And then you've got like Sonny Bradley, you've got Lockyer, Honeyman, Pelly Ruddock, all these lads who are meant to be like our bigger players, just playing terribly. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I don't understand that. Leshabala in danger, Pelly Ruddock in danger. It's just silly, man. Silly. I've not really got the options off the bench either. I've only really got Andy Carroll. Luke Berry's having a shitter. Honeyman's having a shitter. Again, they go through the motions of 1 minute they look sound, the next minute they look terrible. We're going to go cautious again because they're just not. They're just not performing. And you can see it in the match stats. They're all over us really. Reach looking for Zahor and Bell's had to smash that out of play. Said earlier, I wouldn't be too disheartened if we didn't go off, if we didn't win the game. But based on the last game, I think we did more than enough to deserve the win. And then you're looking at this game, and we've hardly touched the ball. We've had one chance, and they've absolutely slapped us. To be honest with you, I don't know what we can do. There's not really a lot of option for me here. Their morale is just dropping constantly. Reece Burke has been terrible. Said our mate have fun at Preston. George Honeyman's going to play DLP. We're going to bring Campbell back in. We're going to bring him in as a ball winner. I think we need someone who's just going to get in their face. And we're going to bring Lesha Bella off because he's been shocking. We're going to bring Carroll on from the off here and just see how it goes. The only other options really are Otasoe for one of the defenders, but I feel like they've all really performed quite well. Pelly Rudder could potentially come off. See how it goes. Annoying. Let's just go really direct. Hmm. The highlight stuck with the throw. No, it hasn't. Fantastic. We need 2 goals here. I'm really annoyed. I'm really annoyed because I thought we were going to do it in that first game, and I think we deserved it on the run of the game. Come on, lads. Something. Pull something out. Getting nothing out of them, are we? Got a couple of more shots. Honeyman. And the Carroll has flicked it onto no one. Swear to God. Well, boys, I could even end it there. I could genuinely end the video there. I really could. Avan Jones is going to have to come on. We've not really got anything to lose now. We're just going to have to go for it. We've literally got nothing to lose now. Ludicrous, man. Absolutely let down by key players. Even James Bree. You've been on the pitch for 15 minutes and you've got yourself sent off. Like, what am I meant to do with that? It is what it is. It's it can happen in real life. It can happen on the game. That's why we all get so invested in watching 22 dots run around the field on an Excel spreadsheet. It's say it is what it is. Honeyman again. There's so many big players are really letting me down here, and it's really annoying me. It is really annoyed me. Pretty pathetic, in all honesty, after the season we've had. Absolutely fizzled out. Absolutely fizzled out. Pathetic. We've not had a highlight since the red card. We didn't have a highlight in the second half. The only highlight was the red card, and look, it's just the game's just gone. Pathetic. Ah, he's in. Go on, finish it off. Well, we've come an awfully long way in a very short space of time. Um, I didn't really think promotion was on the cards. I mentioned it at the start of the video. I've been proven right. The the real gut wrencher being that we look like we probably could do something in the first game. I still say we were robbed the goal. I don't think Josh Allen was offside at all for his goal, but again, it is what it is. There's not really a lot we can do. It's happened now, and that's it. Well, boys, um, thank you very much for watching along with the first half of the series and the first season. I am far from pleased with that. But yeah, it is what it is. I've got the off season to come, a bit of scouting to do, maybe a bit of tinkering with tactics to do. I don't know. West Brom seemed to be able to counter it quite easily in the two games, which is concerning because up until the last couple of games of the season, just getting fined the week wages. I'm not kicking off any other way. Again, certain players just not performing in the slightest. Big players not performing. Might be a case of consolidating, and as I say, unfortunately, we're probably now going to lose Sluga and Lockyer to try and consolidate the squad and improve the squad. There's at least 6 million in Lockyer and potentially up to 10 million in Sluga, to then identify and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. I've just sorted very quickly by average ratings. Ignore the top two because they've not really played for us. You can see Honeyman, Bradley, Amari Bell, James Bree. Again, these are the players I was on about, the big time players that have let us down when needed the most. George Honeyman, 1 goal, 10 assists, fantastic return though. Andy Carroll and Daniel Butterworth between them, 16 goals. Lovely stuff. We have got Mr. Butterworth back again for another season. His determination has already gone up by 2. Hopefully we can keep improving him. Happy with the blend of the squad and happy with the players coming in, but we're going to have to double down and sort of pick out the issues and see how we can resolve sort of what's just happened in that game. But anyway, lads, thank you very much for watching. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's the Mad Hatters. Hopefully we make some mad signings. Hopefully our scouting is going to be up to scratch, and we pull off a worldie of a season next season. But thank you very much for watching. And as always, take care and I'll speak to you next time.